in the bronze medal match right before the battle for the gold between Vietnam and the defending champions, Thailand.
Number 10, Agustin Wulandari. Setter, number 13, Triretno Muniara. Opposite hitter, number 15, Hani Buniarti. Middle block and their team captain, number 17, Wilda Nurmadila. And their libero, number 1, Yulis Imnayani. Head coach for Indonesia is Octavian. Let us now meet the starters for the Philippines. Outside hitter number 2, Alyssa Valdez. Outside hitter number 6, Cesc Molina. Opposite hitter number 7, Maylene Maat. Middle blocker number 10, Majoy Baron. Setter number 12, Gia Morado. Middle blocker, the team captain, number 18, Abby Maranyo. And their libero, number 5, Don Macandili. Head coach for the Philippines is Jack De Los Santos.
It is time once again for all of us to come together and believe in the impossible. Believe that we can overcome every obstacle that we have faced here in these 30th Southeast Asian Games. Our women's volleyball team has yet to pick up a win in this tournament, but this is still a great opportunity to end the tournament on a high and with a bronze medal.
You know what, Don? Rising above the ashes is not something new for every Filipino, whether it be in history or in recent history like what we witnessed last night. We know that at any moment, we can always overcome whatever we're going through, and that will be the story once again for today as we watch our women's volleyball team taking on Indonesia.
And it's good to see that our team captain, Kapitana Abby Maranyo, is in high spirits, all smiles, and ready to go para lumaban para sa Pilipinas. Now, in terms of the lineups, I'm not surprised that Triretno Muniara Lupti is starting for the first time here in this match because ganyan naman yung estilo ng ibang mga nations. Meron sila mga tinatago para hindi masyadong ma-scout. She was the best setter in both legs of the ASEAN Grand Prix held in Thailand and in the Philippines this year. And for the first time here in the SEA Games, she is starting for Indonesia, the 22-year-old setter sensation.
There has yet to be revealed on the side of Indonesia. Hindi natin alam kung ano pa yung mga bala na tinatago ni coach at ng buong team ng Indonesia. But we also don't know what the Philippines has done since their last match versus Indonesia. 2 days has gone by, so a lot can happen, a lot of adjustments as well.
At ito makakatapat ni Mutiara, si Gia Morado. Too strong on that serve for Gia, but Gia also started the last match against Indonesia. Coach Jack De Los Santos making an adjustment after going with the veteran Rhea Di Maculangan in the first 2 matches here in these Southeast Asian Games. Now, Michelle, how do we stop Ratri and Megawati, who have been averaging 12.3 and 20.3 points respectively in this tournament?
You know what, Ton? Blocking is very important now for the girls. But in that last game versus Indonesia, nagagawa naman nila ng paraan na ma-dig, ma-block. We tied at 7 blocks in that last game. So as long as we can produce the same output as these players, kaya natin makipagsabayan dito. So napaka-importante lang talaga na maka-receive tayo at makapano tayo to set up our own plays.
And to get off to a strong start, mahirap na maiwanan ng Indonesia sa simula pa lang ng laban. Indonesia unable to send that back to the Philippines. Alyssa Valdez scored 22 against Vietnam, 14 against Thailand, just 2 points against these Indonesians. Now in better condition, Alyssa Valdez hoping to be her usual self. Here's the back set. Ball is still alive. Morado. Pupuntahan si Molina who goes cross court. And Cesc Molina will get the point.
Way above of the blockers. First referee right in front of him. The action. Calling that a check ball.
Ces Molina averaging 8.2 points per match in the tournament.
She had 13 points in that last game versus Indonesia. If we have the same numbers for the likes of Ces Molina and Majoy Baron, Mylene Paat, we can really keep up with this star-studded team as well that we're going up against.
Tatlong manlalaro, umabot sa double digits. Molina on a combination play.
The blockers were there, but the power of Ces Molina going through the double block of Indonesia. Ito yung mga combination plays, Anton, na hahanap-hanapin natin in today's game because ito yung kailangan natin makita going up against a much taller blocking team such as Indonesia. The combination plays will work perfectly for Team Philippines.
And Gia Morado went with a running attack earlier for Majoy Baron, trying to mix it up para sa Pilipinas. There's the hit. And Megawati, 20.3 points per match. She is the ace of Indonesia. But the Philippines has been dealing with players like Megawati. In the first match, nakita natin si T4. It's just a matter of trying to tire her out. Not an easy task, but somehow we have to get it done.
All starts with a good reception for Team Philippines, something that we really struggled with versus Indonesia. And Indonesia had a big edge when it comes to services, service aces in that game. So that will really set the tempo for our game today as the serve receive of Team Philippines.
Long back set for Mylene Paat. Blockers were there from Indonesia. Ibabalik ang bola kay Mylene. Solid blocking by Indonesia.
She really was the highest pointer in that last game versus Indonesia. So kailangan alam din ng mga players na siya rin ang babantayan in today's game and to be quickly adjust and to have that quick adjustments for those rotations.
And Wilda Padilla, the captain of Indonesia, playing with a lot of energy to start this match, but a service error right there committed by Budyarty. Mylene Paat playing well as of late, especially in the last two matches. 11 points against Thailand, 14 as you mentioned against Indonesia. Babalik ang bola sa Indonesian side. Here's the toss, here's the hit. Bakandili could not get to that volleyball after that Megawati spike.
Megawati just seeing the hole at the opposite side of the court. Masyadong malaki yung tinatakpan na butas doon sa likod. Hindi na naabutan ni Don Bakandili. But Megawati, pag siya tumalon, Anton, when she gets up in the air and spikes the ball with the power that she has, she really sees the opposite side of the court and knows where to score a point.
Such a talented spiker Megawati is. And I'm more impressed, Michelle, with her age. She's only 20 years old. So yung development talaga ng mga volleyballista sa Indonesia is very impressive as we have a challenge right here.
Indonesia, ball in, ball out.
Great to see such young players stepping up into an international court. So much promise also in the younger generation of volleyball players here in the Philippines playing. Talagang it's a bright future for all the volleyball players and all the athletes that you've seen performing here in the SEA Games.
Unsuccessful challenge right there. So the point will go to the Philippines as Ces Molina troops back to the service line para sa ating kuburan. Molina floats that one safely to the other side. Indonesia will go for a hit. And Ratri, the other player averaging in double digits from Indonesia. Outside spikers, Michelle.
And really with a high percentage, when you need a point and Ratri is up in front or Megawati is up in front, you really have to go and put up a double block for them. That creates up their teammates with just one block and more chances of scoring a point.
Maranyo.
At the first technical timeout,
Because of that
the score
service
is 8-5
error,
in
Indonesia
favor
will head into this
Indonesia.
technical city, the battle for the bronze. between the Philippines and Indonesia. Now, what can you say about this sudden start of the best setter in the ASEAN Grand Prix this year? Dito lang siya stinart ni Coach Octavian.
We don't know, Anton, why she didn't start with the number 1 team in the league like Thailand and Vietnam who's playing for the gold. So now they're probably also threatened with Team Philippines, or maybe she's been suffering something in the past. We really don't know. But now that she's starting and you see the connection she has with her spikers, it's still there. It's still consistent. So just goes to show that anybody from the side of Indonesia being put in by the coaching staff really contributes, and talagang swak sila sa rotation.
Meanwhile, we need a lot more of that from Alyssa Valdez, spiking in between the two blockers for the kill. Here's Alyssa with a hit going down the line. Ball is high up in the air. There's the spike from the opposite side. Molina cleaning things up from the back row. Maylene Pat making something happen for the Philippines.
Great turn there by Maylene Paat going down the line, trying to mix things up a bit. This left-handed player really, Anton, has stepped up and shown the Philippines her caliber in this international court, because being the highest pointer in last game and now stepping up, you see the fire in this girl's eyes.
Here's the back set. Going cross court. Does it go long? Yes, it does. We are tied at 8, 3 straight points for our Philippine women's volleyball team as Gia Morado returns to the service line.
Substitution for Indonesia. Number 13 out, number 8, Tisha Amalia in.
And this is what we were just discussing, Michelle. The sudden start of the young setter Mutiara. Now, Coach Octavian is going back to Tisha, Amalia Putri Tisha, who has started for Indonesia in the first 3 matches.
Makes you wonder, Anton, but Coach Octavian is not taking any chances, especially with that run, 3 points by the Philippines.
Going with what earned them the win in their last match, running attack. Blockers were there at the top. Another chance, they go to the other side. And Budiarty breaks down the wall.
One point right away, Anton.
You talked about how important blocking should be, Michelle.
What?